What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Monkish Brewing Company, and they're out of Torrance, California, and this is their Rawr Rawr. So they are calling this a double dry hopped double IPA that comes in at 8.6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 3 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Bud, for hooking me up with this one. So thank you very much, Bud. Truly do appreciate it. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies Bud sent my way. He sent me some California love. He sent me 2 Monkish beers, a Moonraker beer, and a Sandbox beer. And yeah, really pumped to give Monkish beers a go because I've never had anything brewed at their facility. Anytime I've ever had a Monkish beer, it's been a collaboration, and I've never had anything brewed at their actual brewery. So I reviewed their Conjoined Triangles of Success, which was a collaboration with Other Half and Southern Maker, but it was the Monkish brewed one. So that was like the first Monkish brewed beer that I had, and then this is the second, and sounds pretty delicious. So they are double dry hopping this one with Citra, Rakau, and Idaho 7 hops, and yeah, sounds pretty delicious. So let's get into it. Yeah, so that's looking like, you know, great New England style double dry hop goodness in a glass. Yeah, and I can smell it from, you know, a foot away from my face. Fantastic. So that is a really deep, milky, you know, I'd say deeper yellow color, almost like I always say orange honey, but I'd say more of like leaning towards orange, but it's very milky looking. Has about a half finger of this off-white head, super creamy looking head that has dissipated to about a third, maybe a quarter of a finger. But yeah, looks awesome. Smells awesome. Oh, man. So this is one of those beers where I'm getting creamy fruit, like creamy overripened fruit, creamy pineapple in this one. There's papaya, honeydew melon, a lot of fruit flavors, or a lot of fruit, I shouldn't say fruit flavors, a lot of fruits that have like a fleshy, you know, creamy kind of consistency to them. Oh yeah. There's some peach, apricot, mango, stone fruit goodness as well. A zesty, acidic, like tangerine, ruby red grapefruit. Maybe a little bit of guava. Man, this is a lot of fruit. There's a little bit of like this slight dankness over top of all of it. But man, that just smells like fruit juice. I mean, what did I mention? 6, 7, 8 different fruits. This is a great mix of like zesty citrus, creamy tropical fruits, and then just bursting, juicy type of stone fruits. Smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Bud. That's fucking dynamite is what that is. So the 2 Monkish beers I've had brewed at their facility, yeah, the body and mouthfeels are just fantastic. This is higher side of medium body, which is great at 8.6%. The mouthfeel soft, smooth, slightly creamy, a little bit more carbonation than the triple IPA I had, but that's typical, you know, for a double, and a singles having a little bit more carbonation. But the body mouthfeel is spectacular. The taste, this is like juice. There's so much juicy components to it. It almost has in the taste like this pulpy, like sweet orange juice vibe, which in the nose, it was just zesty citrus juice, but on the palate, a lot of like orange juice. But there's also that more of like a creamy overripened pineapple, has a little bit of dankness behind it. There's peach, there's apricot from the stone fruits, a little bit of like a passion fruit in here as well. Maybe like a white grape kind of thing too. There's an underlying like herbaceous, almost grassy feel to this one too, which is nice, and I wasn't picking it up on that. I'm just taking this down. This is crazy. 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through the palate, there's a substantial dryness that hits. This is like semi-dry to full-on dry. This doesn't have a huge residual sweetness like so many double IPAs have for me. Like I drink a lot of Other Half, obviously. A lot of their beers have more residual sugars than most. So a lot of times there's a substantial dryness or bitterness. This has a closer to full-on dryness, just a very slight residual sweetness, and then a low to moderate bitterness as well. I'm picking up on a very slight hop burn, green astringency on the back of the throat. Very minute, just a touch. I think in a couple of weeks that would go away. Fresh though, this might have been a bit green. I don't think Bud mentioned anything about it in his check-ins or anything, or I think he checked this one in recently. Maybe not. Maybe he hasn't yet. But yeah, it's a fucking delicious beer. It's a fruit juice with a little bit of like grassy, herbaceous dankness. I like that I don't really like dry beers a lot. I think in this situation, it works more for me than it would typically, because 3/4 of the palate is sweetness and just a little bit of that grassy, herbaceous dankness. But it's like sweet orange juice, sweet tropical fruits, creamy, over-ripened pineapple and papaya and stuff. But then that dryness hits and it breaks up the monotony of all that sweetness and juiciness. And it's like, here, this beer finishes dry with a low to moderate bitterness. It just carries the beer to the end of the palate with more of a balance than if it didn't have that dryness. So yeah, really digging this one. For me, it's not like mind-blowing or anything, but this is in the realm of like, an upper echelon double dry hop double IPA. Like, this is fucking good. It's real good. It's great. It's delicious. It's fucking delicious. So Rawr Rawr from Monkish. I'm gonna give that a low 4.5 out of 5. I'm gonna go 4.4 out of 5. Definitely gets in the 4.5 range. This is on par with a lot of the East Coast goodness that I'm drinking. One thing I've been noticing about Monkish, I guess the West Coast beers, because the Moonraker was very similar, is that these aren't full-on juice bombs, or at least the ones that I have. They are juicy, and they're in the realm of the New England style, but I think they have their own like West Coast take on it, where there's more dryness in this one. The Moonraker had like a resinous pine, more of a bitter, like moderate bitterness, and I think I dig that. I've been mentioning a lot in other half reviews, but just other New England style IPA reviews. I am more of a fan of the hybrid, where you're taking the juicy, hazy, creamy, smooth, soft mouthfeels of New England style, but then it's a marriage between that and like the slight pine resin, zesty grapefruit, moderately bitter West Coast style IPAs. So when you take those and put them together, you're right in my wheelhouse. I think I want a low to moderate bitterness, approaching more moderate. I want a little bit of that zesty citrus fruit, a little bit of that pine resin, but then I want, a juicy, fruity, creamy, soft, smooth mouthfeel. So I think the hybrids are working for me well, and this beer isn't necessarily a hybrid, but I think it has nuances of that West Coast feel. So 4.4 out of 5 for Rawr Rawr from Monkish. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Bud, price and availability, if you want to chime in here. I'd imagine this is brewery only though, and I'd imagine these are probably $20, $22 a 4-pack. I mean, that is the going rate if you go to a brewery only release for a beer that's 8.6%. Oh, I didn't even mention the fucking ABV. I can't tell. I mean, this drinks like it's 6.5. I mean, it hides the alcohol well. That dryness could maybe be coming from the alcohol, but I'm not feeling any in the palate. That hot burn is definitely, I can distinguish between that and like an actual alcohol like burn or astringency. So I can't really taste the 8.6. This drink's like 6.5. So that's another, little, what? Fuck it. I'm gonna knock it up to 4.5 out of 5 because I didn't even think about that. So 4.5 out of 5 for Monkish Rawr Rawr. Whatever. It doesn't matter. 4.5, 4.4. It's an amazing beer. But yeah, these are probably $20 a 4-pack. I'd assume brewery only. But if you want to chime in and confirm or call me an idiot, either way, I'm cool. So again, if anyone has had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Once again, thanks to Bud for hooking me up with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna drink the rest of this and enjoy every single sip. To the next one. Cheers.